everyone, and welcome to Stop by Sharon's. I hope everyone's having a good day. How's your day going? In this live, we are going to discuss the Healing Journey series. I'm looking down at my notes because I don't want to forget anything. And it's a Healing Journey series for survivors. So, as the first question that we need to ask ourselves and try to answer is, what exactly is healing? What does it entail? Now, from my own personal experience, I've came up with at least 5 things that I think is related to healing. And number one, I would say that healing is a personal journey. It's unique to each and every one of us. None of us will go through the same healing journey, but we will have some shared experiences that can help us support one another. The second thing that I feel that healing entails is the process. The process can become frustrating because it's going to take time. It's nothing that can be rushed. So some people want it to happen really, really fast, but that's not how healing works. The third thing that I came up with as far as what is healing, it requires the inner work. To me, what does that mean? It means to deal with the trauma and to deal with the pain. Whether you do it by journaling, whether you do it by having quiet moments and time to yourself, whether you do it with meditation, whether you deal with it by maybe perhaps talking to someone that you genuinely trust. Some of us, depending on the type of trauma, the extent of the trauma, how long we've dealt with the trauma, we might need to seek professional help. Thank you for joining. We're talking about the Healing Journey series for survivors. In my videos, I do address survivors. It's dear to my heart. It's something personal. And I feel that there are a lot of people out here in the world who are not dealing with the healing aspect. We get stuck in the trauma. We get stuck in the pain. And I feel that it has to be addressed. In order for the healing process to begin, we must address it. So, and by the looks of it, when I do put out videos about survivors, I notice that it resonates with not only me, but with a lot of thought that I would come on at least once a week live to talk about healing. And it's an interactive discussion where everybody can join. You don't have to be specific with what type of trauma or pain that you are dealing with or have dealt with in the past that has kept you stuck. And as you can see, I am a seasoned person, and so I know that it can take a long time, and healing for some of us is going to be ongoing, it's going to be, every day he'll get closer to healing. It might take a lifetime. Some people can heal and get over it and move on. And so I was on, number one, I said healing is personal. Number two is a process. We must all do the inner work, which means reflection, addressing it, whatever we need to do. We have to acknowledge and accept that we have been experiencing trauma, which is causing pain, which is keeping us stuck, and we're not living our best life, our version of a best life, because everybody's version of a best life is different. Number four, I put that we have to address the pain and the hurt and the trauma, and it can be challenging and it can be difficult. And a lot of people who are survivors, one place where I feel that we get stuck at is that we blame ourselves. We're like, why did this happen to me? I must have done something wrong. One thing I'm here to tell you that it is not your fault. You did absolutely nothing wrong. Some of us were traumatized in childhood where you just didn't have a choice. You couldn't defend yourself, and it could have been someone that you trusted. So that makes it difficult. And what I'm finding out is that a lot of times with the childhood trauma, the children don't even know that they were being abused. they don't find out till later in life. Maybe a teenager, maybe a young adult, maybe in your middle-aged years, maybe when you are a senior citizen and you're like, oh my God, I was really traumatized. I was abused. So it can happen in different parts of our lives. Another thing is what you need to know, what's really important for all of us to understand is that healing can be achieved. Healing can be achieved. So, do you guys have any thoughts on, healing? Are some of you guys dealing with healing? Are you in the healing process? And just know that you will one day be healed. Me, I'm a seasoned person and I'm still healing, but I enjoy it. Every day I get closer to healing. So, I'm open and I'm able to live my life on purpose and with intention because I know that I am healing. You do not need to give the power to the perpetrator, whomever it was. Some people are abused financially, emotionally, intimately, whatever the case is. Manipulation, you have aggressive people in your life, and you don't know how to stand up for yourself. That's what another thing is. If you do not heal, you cannot protect yourself from future abuse, future violations. So it's really important to get that journey started. And that's why I'm coming on here today. I'm not a type of person that likes to sit in front of a camera and talk to people. This is new to me, but I feel it's important. The reason why I'm here is important. It's here for us. And this is a safe place for you to be, to come on here and talk. Like I said, throughout the week, I try to share, shorts or whatever about the healing process. I try to give you some uplifting and words, encouragement. Some of the time you'll find me driving in my vehicle. I'm in my car, and that's why I'm thinking about stuff, meditating. And I'm like, I would like to share an uplifting message to my viewers, to my supporters. And if anything about healing, because of due to trauma or, emotional abuse or whatever it was, then this is the place for you. I would consider that you should perhaps subscribe, like and subscribe to my channel. This channel has been around probably for 4 years, but I really haven't accessed it until like the last few months. I uploaded like one video and then I just abandoned my channel, but I'm coming back now because I have a purpose, and the purpose is to talk with other people who may have experienced some type of trauma in their lives, but who are more focused on the healing journey than anything, because you want to get back to living. You want to live your best version of your life. And that, it'll hold you back. Trust me, you'll be stuck. And what I mean by that is you'll encounter people, because you're still broken and you're not really healed, who will also manipulate and be aggressive towards you and perhaps abuse you. So what I'm trying to do is keep you from letting that happen again in your life. You may wonder why my relationships are not working. Probably because you're stuck and you're not healing. You're not on the journey to healing. Why do people, don't respect me? Why can't I keep friends? Why my relationships fall apart? I've had relationships fall apart, but I really was not addressing the trauma that got me to where I was. Until you address the trauma and start healing and make a conscious effort to heal, then you're going to stay stuck. The work, my job, oh, that's not going right how I want it. I'm not as assertive as I want to be. I'm telling you, it's probably got something to do with choosing not to heal, to be in denial, to brush it up under the rug. So you have to let it come full force. You got to let it come. You have to confront your fears. And like I said, you have to realize this was not your fault. This was not your fault. And so what we're trying to do is get you past the trauma, get you past the pain, so you can go on your healing journey. So what I plan to do is I plan to come on at least once a week, and it looks like Sundays might work better for me because, Saturdays people are trying to enjoy their family and friends. People go to work through the week, it's hectic. But on a Sunday, when most of us slow down, I think it'll be a great time to come on and to talk and just share and listen. And like I said, we don't have to get in descriptive about it, but we can acknowledge. And even if you do not acknowledge that, yes, I'm dealing with some pain, I'm dealing with trauma. I have talked to some young ladies who are having a difficult time even relating with their mothers. That mother-daughter relationship is also, a strain. And there are also father-son relationships that are also strained. And the common denominator that I'm finding is that people have not healed from trauma. They have not healed from pain. And that will like railroad you. I mean, you won't be able to go on with your life. You won't be able to fulfill whatever life dreams and hopes that you have. You'll be just broken. You'll be in this broken state, this darkness. And I want all to come out into the light. You deserve to live your best life, and time waits for no one. I mean, actually, I can think back when I was 16 and I'm like, oh my God, how did I get here? I mean, that's how fast time will move. I went from like 16 to me to 61 plus now, from 0 to 100. I mean, that's how it seems like life is fleeting, it's fast. So why, have to spend all that time dealing with all that pain unnecessarily when there are resources out there, people to talk to, things to do. Even if you feel like I said, you need to talk to a professional, you are wasting away precious hours, moments, times, days, weeks, years of your life. You didn't deserve this. It was not your fault, but you have to deal with it. So what I'm saying is we need to deal with the pain of trauma so that you can live your best life. So I just came on just to say happy Sunday, and that I hope you consider joining my channel. I like to put out, like I said, some content. And when I do survivors, that really resonates with people because a lot of us can relate to being survivors of some type of traumas or pain in our lives, and me myself. And that's why I'm speaking up and speaking out. It might not be necessary to confront the perpetrator, and the perpetrator could be long gone for all we know. As a child, you might not even remember who the perpetrator was. But it's important to forgive yourself. It's important to not blame yourself. And some people feel, and it takes time. It's also important to forgive the person who caused you harm in order, not necessarily for them, but for you to move forward. So I'm going to look down at my comments. I see Waylon is asking me, are you good? Some people are saying no. Let me see. Somebody wants to be a mod. Jennifer, are you a member? Are you not necessarily a member, but are you a subscriber of my channel? And I see Mr. Charles is asking me where I am from. I am from the United States, and I live in Wisconsin. So that is where I am from. Let's see here. Let's see. So is there anything you guys want to talk about? Those are the things, like I said, we'll be talking about. I just wanted to just come out and just give you like an overview about what topics we will be talking about on Sundays. And Sundays, again, is a series for survivors. If you are a survivor of any trauma, of any hurt, of any pain, and that you still have not overcome that for whatever reasons, this is the channel that you need to come to. And I want to first of all say thanks for stopping by Sharon's. And I like to put out content that will uplift and encourage people, motivate people from all walks of life. But I do have a personal affiliation with survivors, because we've all been through something, and some things are more traumatic than others, and some are less than others. So I just appreciate you guys for stopping in. And if you want to leave a comment below, you can. If you think this will be helpful for you or someone else that you know, please, like, share, subscribe. Like I said, it's kind of different coming in front of the camera, even though my career was spent with talking to people, but it was mainly like one on one. It wasn't really with large groups of people or with, with people from all around the world. My background is in social work, so I've dealt with people who have had trauma. I've always had to wanted to assist people. I was a public servant. I'm currently retired, so I have time to spend more on my own growth, my own personal growth, my own healing journey. And when I look around and read articles or be on social media, I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. And I just encourage you all to start your healing journey. If you haven't started your healing journey, I say start today. It's never too late. And it can be an ongoing healing journey. It doesn't happen overnight. And ignoring that you have some trauma and you are a survivor, if you ignore that, you're not going to get better. If you're wondering why my relationships don't work, I don't get along with my siblings, I don't get along with my parents, I don't get along with my friends, I can't seem to keep a job, it's probably because you're stuck and you haven't chosen to heal. You're probably stuck, because it takes us a while to connect those connections, to connect those dots like, it may have something to do with my trauma, with my pain. And some people have lived an awesome life. Some people haven't experienced it, and they don't even get it. They don't understand like trauma, healing, survival. What are you talking about? And that's awesome because, that's great that you haven't experienced that. But for those who have, and then like I said, as a child, children don't even understand that they're being abused and that it's going to lead to trauma, but they will at some point in their life, something's going to happen and they're not going to know why, and it might be best to talk to someone. Let's see. Okay, Mr. Charles, hi, how are you doing? And is that Demaya? Hi, how are you doing? And like I said, I hope you guys subscribe to my channel. And it's really good to get feedback from you guys. I want to thank all my viewers, all my subscribers. Like I said, my channel is like 3.5 years old but I really never activated it. I put out one video and then I abandoned my channel. So right now I'm back. I've been back probably since December, January, trying to build up, my viewers and my subscribers. And I'm happy to say that we have reached 90. I have over 100,000 views on my channel. I appreciate all those who have viewed my channel, viewed my content. I'm trying to bring more content to you guys. I did drop a couple of shorts today that you guys can check out after this live ends. And give me feedback. I know that not all feedback will be positive, but trust me, I think I've been around long enough to know how to handle comments from people. People are human beings. And like I said, if I do receive negative comments on my channel, to me, that's going to be a red flag that this person is dealing with some pain they haven't overcome, and they need to be in a healing phase. So I will understand it. I will assume that you're trauma. You got trauma going on because you personally do not know me. So you know what I'm saying? So all comments are welcome, but you need to be a subscriber in order to comment. I may consider in the future opening it up because that might let me see who might need some healing. I'll be sending out healing vibes to them. And I've been here long enough. I'm resilient and I can take a punch. Trust me, I can take a punch. You know what I mean? So, I also have a background as a criminal justice officer. I was in criminal justice, so I did work with some people who was hurting and pain and found themselves incarcerated because of the hurt, the pain, the trauma. So I also have stories that I will be bringing in the future about the life of a correctional officer inside of a facility with incarcerated people. Very interesting job. You have to pretty much have a thick skin to do that type of job. You're going to get a lot of emotions coming at you. You're going to be dealing with a lot of people who are hurt, who have been victimized, and some who have chosen criminal activity. So what I'm trying to do, like I said, with this channel, with the healing part, the series with the healing journey, is to make sure that you choose not to go in a detrimental path, not to go on that detrimental path, to make good choices, instead of doing things, that is not going to be good for you. Um, so let's see here. I'm just reading the comments in case people want to comment. Like I said, if this resonates with you, be sure to join me on Sundays. I'm trying to narrow down a time. I haven't exactly narrowed that time down, but it probably will be maybe, I don't know, late afternoon, early evening time. I'm trying to get a time that's good for people. And this is a safe space where we can talk, and it's hard for people to open up. First of all, you have to admit it, that the reason why you are stuck is because you had some type of trauma in your life, that is causing you to like have issues as you get older. And some people have mother daughter issues, mother father, issues, sibling issues. Maybe you was the black sheep of the family, meaning that you felt a little outside, not really welcomed into your own family, whatever the situation may be. And some of you have been very privileged in life, which is a blessing, and you haven't had to deal with so much, and you have a loving, caring, supporting family and support system and with your friends. And if that's good, that's great. But if you know someone who is suffering and might need to talk with us or come on and just, hear what the topics is going to be week after week. And I'm thinking that it's going to be like 8 weeks. It's going to be like an 8-week series. Once a week, come on a Sunday and let's go through this for 8 weeks. And if we determine that it needs to be more, we need to extend it, then I will, because there's so much to talk about. So right now, I just want to thank you all for coming on, and be sure to tune in to the Healing Journey series for survivors, which will be coming out once a week on a Sunday for 8 weeks. And if we need to extend that, we will. Okay. Hi, Mr. Charles. And I think I spoke to you already. All right, then, guys. So I'll see you soon. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for stopping by Sharon's. And please check out my content on my page. Thank you. Have a great day. Whew.